Hollywood icon Gene Hackman was poised for A-list success when he became a father to three children. The legendary actor welcomed son Christopher and daughters Elizabeth and Leslie in the 60s during his marriage to his first wife, Faye Maltese. But with his career about to take off, Oscar winner Gene later admitted that his relationship with his children had suffered. Now, following the shock news that Gene, 95, has been found dead alongside his wife Betsy Arakawa, 63, in their New Mexico home, we take a look back at his life as a father. Early struggles. Gene and Faye Maltese's first child, Christopher Allen Hackman, was born in 1960. He was followed by sister Elizabeth Jean 2 years later, and baby Leslie Ann arrived in 1966. But life in the early days was tough for the family, who were living in a tiny apartment in New York. Despite his eventual fame, Gene was a struggling actor at the time, and their property was a cold water walk-up in the city. This type of apartment had no hot water, shower, or central heating, and tenants would often need to heat water on a stove for baths. Gene eventually landed several successful stints on Broadway, which paved the way for his screen career in Hollywood. But the trappings of their new showbiz life simply had other consequences for the children. In 2011, Gene said in an interview with GQ, "You spend so many years wanting desperately to be recognized as having the talent, and then when you're starting to be offered these parts, it's very tough to turn anything down. Even though I had a family, I took jobs that would separate us for 3 or 4 months at a time. The temptations in that, the money and recognition, it was too much for the poor boy in me. I wasn't able to handle that." Famous father. Gene got his big break in 1967 when landing a supporting role in Bonnie and Clyde. It was the start of a huge Hollywood film career, with him bagging parts in Clint Eastwood's Unforgiven and Superman in the 70s. But his hectic schedule meant he was gone too long, and his relationship with Faye, his children's mother, came under strain. The couple divorced in 1986. Now living in California, the state in which Gene was born in 1930, he had fast become a recognized A-list star. Living with a famous father, however, came at a price. Gene described his fame as hanging over their heads, as Christopher, Elizabeth, and Leslie attempted to go about daily life. Speaking to the Irish Independent in 2000, he admitted, "It's tough being the son or daughter of a celebrity. I couldn't always be home with them when they were growing up, and then, living in California, they'd had my success always hanging over their heads." Gene even admitted that his relationship with his eldest child, son Christopher, suffered to the point where they lost touch. The actor also told GQ in 2011, "I lost touch with my son in terms of advice early on. Maybe it had to do with being gone so much, doing location films when he was at an age where he needed support and guidance. It was very tough for me to be gone for 3 months and then come home and start bossing him around." Gene married his second wife, pianist Betsy Arakawa, in 1991. The couple set up home together, and it was later reported that her presence helped to mend his relationship with his children. According to a report in the Chicago Tribune in 1994, Betsy was keen to help him rekindle things, so encouraged him to start inviting Christopher, Elizabeth, and Leslie round to the house. The moments were said to be invaluable to Gene. In 2020, 4 years before his retirement from acting, insiders confirmed his relationship with his grown-up children, and by then grandchildren, was firmly back on track. A source told Closer Weekly, "He wishes he'd been around more for his children, but now he's close with them and their kids." Towards the end of his life, his family were the few people Gene would see. Keen to reside away from the spotlight that he once craved, he would spend his days reading and writing novels instead. He told Reuters, "I like the loneliness of writing, actually. It's similar in some ways to acting, but it's more private." Christopher, Elizabeth, and Leslie, whose mother Faye died in 2017, have also shunned a life in the spotlight, choosing to live their lives out of the public eye.